It's hatch pepper season, and I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to get started on this. I am going to roast these, the tomatillos and hatch peppers, and make hatch pepper tomatillo macaroni and cheese. That's a mouthful, but it's totally worth it because it's going to make your belly happy and full. So I have a lot to do here. So first thing I'm going to do is try to prep my pan, except I forgot to do this. So this is Parmesan cheese. All right, I'm ready to go. So first up, I'm going to just get my pan, my little casserole dish here prepped. And to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is grate some Parmesan cheese because I'm going to make a crusty surface on the bottom of that casserole. And it's going to be delicious. That way you get crust on the top and crust on the bottom. So there's always a bite of crust, almost every bite. All right, so just added some breadcrumbs to that. We're not gonna add anything else to it. That is fine. And then we're gonna spray this over the sink. See that fog? Have to clean the lenses after that. So that's all sprayed in there. And then I'm just gonna take the breadcrumbs and the parm and easily and gently mix them together to make a nice, cohesive, beautiful crust. I probably have too much, but that's okay because we can use the rest on the top. And then we just pour it in here. Pretty simple. And then you just sort of turn it to get everything coated. And it's okay if you spill a little. Get it as close to the top as you possibly can. And that is ready to go. Just gonna set that aside and then move on to the next step, which is chopping some onion and then check on my tomatillos and my peppers. Look at those. So people ask me how I come up with these recipes, and this one actually came out of a job that I was doing. I worked in a demo kitchen in a supermarket, and one of the demos was for a chicken casserole of some sort with a green chili salsa. And I like cheese. And so I eliminated the chicken and added in a bunch of cheese and substituted the salsa that they wanted with one that I liked better, and just did it that way. Now, during hatch season, you can buy hatch salsas. They're delicious, but I kind of like to roast my own and make my own kind of combination thing going on there. So I'm just using fresh tomatillos and the hatch peppers. They're out on the grill roasting right now, and it's gonna be awesome. All right. So I just cut up half of an onion. Okay, so I weighed out 4 ounces of mild cheddar and 4 ounces of Monterey Jack cheese. And that should be plenty because we're gonna also add some sour cream to it. Plus we have that little bit of Parmesan cheese, and that's gonna be amazing. So, and I checked on the peppers. They are looking beautiful. So all I'm gonna do is just stand here and grate cheese. And you can watch if you want to. It's not very exciting. It's just grating cheese. The reason the pasta is done. And I wanted to show you one thing that I like to do. So I like to save the water from the pasta because you can use it for other purposes in the pasta, or in your sauce. So I just take a bowl or cup, put the colander on top of it, stick it in the sink, and then dump away. It works every time. So pour away from yourself so you don't get steam face like I'm getting right now. Hello, can you see the steam? All right, and for this batch, I'm using 6 ounces of a chickpea macaroni. So the peppers are ready. They look amazing. If you could only smell them, you would be oh so happy right now. They smell incredible. So I'm going to let these cool down because they're really hot, and I need to put a little tent over them so that they peel more easily. And while I'm waiting to do that, I'll maybe make a sauce, cheese sauce, to go with our macaroni and cheese. It's gonna be awesome. Hatch pepper, tomatillo, macaroni and cheese. It is a mouthful. Cut that in half. And then in strips. And then again, just a rough chop. We don't need these perfect and beautiful. So again, just rough chop. All right, now we want to reserve as much of this liquid in here as well. So I'm going to get this in a bowl and then start making the sauce. My pan is heating up. I have everything together. I have 2 tablespoons of butter, some flour, of which I will measure out 2 tablespoons. I have some milk. I will use approximately 1 cup. And I have some sour cream, approximately 1/4 cup. The cheese, the onions, and everything else are over there. So once this all gets going, it's going to be awesome. Okay, so we're going to get this going. That's getting started. So I'm just going to dump in that butter, whisk it around a little bit. I'm going to turn this down to very low heat because I don't want all this to burn. We want this nice and soft and delicious. So I like to put the onions and the garlic in the butter and just saute it or sweat it just a little bit. We're just really doing a sweat. So I'm going to take my tablespoon measuring spoon. This is one of those situations where, yes, I do want to do this. I'm not going to eyeball it today. Just sprinkle it over the top if you can. Just whisk that around so that you don't have any lumps of butter. Now I'm going to slowly start to pour in the milk, very slowly. So I want to do this in small incorporations. So the flour granules have an opportunity to completely hydrate and become delicious. Yep, see it's thickening up. And then one more, I think I'm going to come out exactly at a cup. And then shake up my lime juice. Maybe a tablespoon. That looks great. Now for the other goodness. Now remember I said save all that liquid. I'm just going to dump that in. Okay. And then sour cream. See if I can get about a 1/4 cup in 1 spoonful. That's pretty close, maybe a little bit more. All right, there. Goodness. Whisk that in. It's just add something, whisk it, add something, whisk it. Here goes the cheese. Just by drop handfuls in. Let that start to melt. Keep your heat low so you don't break this. The oven. I didn't add salt to this because there's salt in the cheese, so I wanted to take it easy on that. Cheese is 100% in. Good. Now once this melts pretty close, you're going to make a judgment as to whether you need more liquid. And I'm looking at this right now and I'm going, yes, I'm going to need more liquid. You have 2 options. You can use your pasta water, which is kind of my first choice. It's salted, it has a lot of flavor, or you can add more milk. I'm going to get my bowl of pasta water and throw a little bit in there. That should do it. That is about perfect. You've got some good tension from the cheese and the bechamel, and I'm going to go, see if I can get a good taste of it. It is going to need a bit of salt. So I'm going to start with about a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Again, I'm just going to start to drop it in by handfuls. It's cold. Now, just whisk that in. That looks so incredibly good. The taste test before you put it in the oven. It's your last chance to do any adjustments. That's really good. That's delicious. That's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to pour this into the casserole. I'm going to try to pour this in here as carefully as I can. That looks awesome. Just going to take the spatula in the back of it, kind of smooth the top out. Now you can put some cilantro on here, parsley, whatever you like. And then I'm going to sprinkle the rest of these breadcrumbs and parm on top. Awesome. All right, I'm going to put this in the oven, 375 degrees for 45 minutes. Seems ridiculous, but it does take that long. And trust me, this is a make-ahead dish. You know I do a lot of these. The nice thing about this is if you make it one night, you will have macaroni and cheese for the week. And this one will win everybody over. Think about serving this at your next dinner party. The Hatch Tomatillo macaroni and cheese just came out of the oven and it looks absolutely beautiful. So the Hatch Pepper Tomatillo macaroni and cheese is out of the oven. I'm going to give it about 15 minutes to rest and then we're going to cut into it and it's going to be delicious. So the Hatch Pepper Tomatillo macaroni and cheese is out of the oven. It is ready to cut and I have a knife. So I'm just going to kind of edge around here. Oh, look at that crust. Oh, that's so pretty. It's very sexy. That is some kind of cheese crust on that. And it's still pretty hot. There we go. Oh, it's still hot and steamy. Look at that. Oh, that is so gorgeous. And I'm telling you, it's so delicious because I already tried it. Anyway, then we take a little bit of scallion because we have onions in it. And then we just take a few cilantro leaves, throw those on top because they're delicious. And that's that. There you go. Hatch Pepper Tomatillo macaroni and cheese made completely from scratch with chickpea pasta. And this is going to be an awesome dinner. Now, wine pairing tonight. This is a rosé from Texas, from McPherson. And I normally don't say the name, but these guys are doing it right. It's an absolutely amazing rosé. And you will love it with this. All right, I'm Lou, and this is Evolutionary Eats. Go to evolutionaryeats.com/recipes for this one and many more. You can find me on Instagram at Evolutionary Eats and on Facebook at Evolutionary Eats. And right now, I'm kind of staying off of Twitter, just, cause. So, evolutionaryeats.com. I'm Lou. Have a great evening.